what it's all about.
Let me wait until we are loading. And there we go. We have for the Dutch 1v1 Cup the first round. And this is the Eerste Divisie, which is the lower rated players. And we are playing for the first map, Mega Random. And it's a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, it looks like hamburger, but then instead of a wood line in the middle, there's water in the middle.
Yeah.
Actually sounds like it seems like a interesting map, to be honest.
I would say this might be one of those maps that would run out of wood eventually. It's not a whole lot of wood on the map.
No, there's very little wood actually, like barely any on the starting islands, so the corners have something which won't last very long either, and there's not even something else. And especially considering the fact that you're going to spend a whole lot of wood on ships as well. I think this is a very interesting map.
Yeah, because I think in Hamburger the water is even a little bit smaller, a little bit less water. So going with galleys and so on is even more viable than on Hamburger.
Yeah, indeed. I just realized that the edges are way thinner than usual, and the main island is a little bit bigger, I suppose. But the amount of gold is also very limited. There's 6 piles in total on the outer ring, and both players have 3 in the starting positions.
Yeah, but there are a whole lot of relics. At least,
Yeah, indeed.
I think Tarpharazon has an advantage right there because there are four on the starting island, as far as I can see.
I count over 14 relics.
Yeah,
That's
in total.
an awful lot.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's going to be important.
Yeah, if they think about taking the relics.
But next to that, the water control obviously is going to be very important because, as you mentioned, there's a very thin edge on the outer rings, and if you want that wood line, you also need to get on the water quickly enough. So I'm kind of curious whether the players will realize this on time. By the way, last thing I want to mention now is that there's 3 balls for both players. So their feudal time should be top notch. So good matter to get the crush started.
Yeah, well, it should be. Somehow I always manage to do even a shittier uptime when I have 3 boar. Somehow I don't know how that is.
Yeah, but Mega Random can be quite annoying like that. But it's really important because with Mega Random, you do not really have this solid build order. You have to make sure you actually recall to get every ball in time before your ball is running out.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, okay, I get 4 on berries and then I'll get my next ball or something. Now you need to be ready to take the next one in time.
Yeah, what I always do when there are enough sheep, that is just make sure that there is 1 sheep under the TC, so if I take my board too late, I can still take the sheep.
Yeah, that's a great way of preventing idle time, but the problem you have with that is that the gather rate for ball is so much quicker that you're actually kind of delaying your feudal time by sitting on a sheep instead of being on a ball.
Okay, good to know. And I hear a dog going down. It is Tarpharazon who's getting the first.
Yeah, I was kind of just figuring out how to pronounce it, to be honest. It makes me think of Tarzan, but there's nothing in it that makes Tarzan.
We could just call him Tarzan, but let's go with Tarpharazon. Or Farazon,
maybe I'm just gonna call him Tar or something.
Tar, okay.
Okay, that should do it.
But also pretty nice that they do start with two scouts, because if they go up to feudal, the scouts will be pretty decent to snipe off some villagers if they can.
Yeah, indeed. I'm kind of curious whether they will actually use the scouts that aggressive. But as you say, once you get a +2 attack in feudal, it's really easy to snipe off some fields with 2 scouts. Kind of curious when they're going to wall off the middle as well, because let's be honest, that's kind of a must-do on this map. Unless you're going land, which doesn't really sound like a bright idea.
Yeah. So I don't know. Probably it's a fairly easy wall off. The shallow is not too big, so probably I would do it as well, just to make sure.
walls in Arabia that are 10 times as large
Oh
as that
yeah,
little
that's
gap.
for sure. But I'm a really lazy waller, so if it's too much work, I don't do it.
Oh, Gooby is actually kinging up to food age right now. That's a pretty nice time, but that's also because he didn't get a dock yet.
Yes. So Tar getting his dock and being up like 20 seconds. That's not much considering he does have 3 fishing ships and a dock.
Yeah, indeed. Now actually look at it, I suppose that it's just kind of greedy for Gooby to actually go up without a dock, because it's actually really easy to get a good uptime with the triple boars, because that's obviously way more than 500 food. And now we actually have the scouts trying to pick a veil, but there's no food age yet, so
Oh yeah,
obviously...
indeed. And Tar will have to pull out his back or to pull back his scout, but he's not doing it.
No, he's going for another,
It's
but oh, both down before the food attack kicks in.
That's a shame.
Yeah, at least he has fishing ships.
Fair enough. And getting a second dock as well. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nice for the Grush.
And walling it off as well.
Yeah, I like what Tar's doing on this map. This is really the way to go on the map, except maybe losing the 2 scouts. I mean, and it's something you could consider not doing. No, but like really try and get a nice uptime, get a dock out, get a few fishing ships in food for the food eco, and usually 4 ships is that sweet number. And then just get more docks out and go for the Grush.
Yeah. And let's see, 2 guys queued up already for Tar, and yeah,
Gooby is trying to go for the fill.
Oh yes, yes.
He isn't going to get that wall.
No,
but he did get the wall off, and that's really important because Gooby has a stable now and still no dock.
Yeah, I'm looking at his scouting, and he does know that there is a good amount of water around, so I don't know what he's trying here. He's getting a stable. Aha, he's got a scout rush. Okay.
Yeah, he's planning on a scout rush. That is kind of... You can read that off pretty okay from his eco and extra ball. I think he's like, hey, there's this extra ball on the map. Maybe I can use it to scout rush. I kind of like and dislike this idea at the same time. Because even though he's right with the extra food, the scout rush is really easy. And he actually broke through the wall real quick because it wasn't fully built.
And now 1 villager down already for Tar, so... Let's see if Gooby can do some more damage. Some more scouts coming out already, but I think going with 6 scouts, that is a bit much in my opinion. 4 should do the trick as well.
That's an awful lot.
Yeah, it will delay castle time by a lot.
I think something like 4 or 5 is a sweet number, because then you can take out a single spear with ease. More is just going to delay you a little bit too much, especially because you know your opponent is fishing. And yeah, obviously that's going to help him get up earlier.
And let's see how the micro is from Gooby. 1 scout down, but now look at this. The villagers are just chilling next to the scout. The scout is all stand ground.
No problem.
Yeah, let's live in peace. Wow. Okay, but that is one. That's a whole lot of idle time for Tar, and 1 villager down as well. So I think Gooby is getting the value out here.
Yeah, Gooby's getting a lot of value right here. I mean, you can see the difference in Veil, and I think what Tar should be doing right now is get as much fishing ships out as possible, because he knows Gooby isn't on water. So what do? Abuse the fact he isn't on water and go for fish boom.
Yeah, it should do that. And also one thing that's really important, especially now his scouts are damaged, is to try to find the villagers that are on low HP health, or low health. Because there are actually quite a lot of villagers that he could easily snipe off with those 3 scouts.
Yeah, there's like 4 on the gold. There's another 4 on this wood line.
Yeah.
These are really low. And he's going for the gold right now, so that might be risky for Tar.
I think so, yeah. If Gooby is either lucky or micros his scouts good enough, then...
He's at least charging 1 with low HP.
Yeah, let's see. That's 1 villager down. And a lot of idle time, of course. So yeah, I really like how Gooby is getting the value out.
About time he's getting a barracks down, in my opinion.
And yes, he's exactly doing that. Getting a barracks indeed. Spears will be needed now.
It's what kind of sucks is like usually when you're on a water map, your wood eco is like, hey, I can make galleys, and from there on I will make a blacksmith market to get up. But now having to go
another villager
barracks.
down. They're dying. They die so quickly.
Yeah, but he does have loom, but they just are very low HP due to the earlier raids.
Yeah.
And Gooby's actually up to castle age first, even
Wow.
though he's not on water.
Impressive. Although I have to say, like Tar did do 4 fishing ships, but he left it at that. And I think when he saw that Gooby wasn't on water, he could have done more fishing ships instead. Maybe make a new dock on the corners, because there's still a lot of fish there.
But he's actually really low on the wood count right now. Because he had a lot of idle time on these villas on the woodline on the north that were killing the scouts. And his lumber in general has been really idle.
Okay. Gooby now fighting the spirit with 1 scout, but that's not gonna help. And he has 1 HP scout. Tar didn't target him, so still the scouts are alive. But yeah, those are probably not gonna get too much out of it anymore. Or gonna do much damage.
If Tar plays this correctly, then at least the 1 HP scout should basically be useless. I mean, it should be easy to pick up with a fill. And maybe even the galleys can do it if he's going to spot it, just not.
No.
Pity.
And Tar now up to castle age as well, but that's a good 2 minutes behind.
Yeah. But honestly, I think he still has pretty okay odds. And this is why I think why. If he just gets up to castle now, he can just stonewall the front for now. That will save him some time. So he will be in castle in time. Then if he makes sure he holds water control, he can simply move out to the outer edges of the map. And the wood and the gold over there are going to be very important in the long run of the game.
Yeah. So
I think I think keeping the water and just walling down the middle is going to be his best option here.
Yeah, boom up, keep the water. I agree. On the other hand, Gooby could still go in the water easily. There's not like every meter of the shoreline has a galley.
That's why he kind of needs to get more galleys out.
But it looks like Gooby is not really rushing to get on the water. He's getting another town center, and that's about it.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Gooby runs out of wood before he gets a transfer chip.
Well, I do see that he's taking a lot of gold, so might he be just waiting for a castle, get a castle on the shoreline to make sure that he can go on water?
You mean getting stone in?
Yeah, Gooby is getting a lot of stone in already.
Yes. I suppose it could be kind of a legit option, and if I were him, I would probably drop it behind his golden stone to make sure that it's safe from any galleys. Yeah. And there's a Mangano out for Gooby, with a few knights in his stable. Yeah,
the knights, well, run into a wall again, but with the Mango behind it, he could break in again.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. This is why he needed to stonewall in advance, to get his extra time.
Yeah, and Tar is going now for crossbow, but I don't really think that was needed.
It can work, honestly. Like, if he just goes X-bow, he can out-micro the Mangano and get the knights, but with this number of X-bows?
Yeah, and only on fletching.
Yeah, needs Botkin arrow as well. He does have the food eco for it. Oh, Mangano
that's a good shot, and another one? No.
Maybe even monks from here on for Tar.
Gooby now getting a castle on the shallows.
Castle drop.
Oh,
and
he's even going. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that was fair, because Tar without the archers would have been like a big headache for him to deal with the castle.
Yeah, but I understand the GG call here.
Yeah, but I think if he would have gone with War Galley instead, he could have very easily denied the castle there. So he might have.
I feel like if he had a galleys in the middle and a few more galleys, it would have been very hard for Gooby to actually get in there.
Yeah.
Next to that, this is the scenario where you want to stonewall. He's up to castle age quite a bit earlier. And then if you stonewall, you have enough time to maybe get some monks out to convert his knights. And what is he going to do? Then you completely deny his push. You have the little bit of extra time that's just enough to deny the push. And that's everything you need to do when you have water control.
Yeah, if the castle would not have gone up like that, then Tar, would have just had all the time in the world to get back.
Yeah, but good job by Gooby, though, that he has been playing so aggressive. I had a lot of doubts when I see the scouts coming out, and I thought that would really kick him in the balls. Because, no water eco is a really big thing. But yeah.